Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Is Cristiano Ronaldo capable of restoring Manchester United back to glory? Like I said to you earlier on today, Ronaldo issues a demand to Manchester United after being substituted in the 2-1 defeat to Young Boys. Ronaldo wants Manchester United to stay confident despite the loss. Ronaldo scored in the game against Young Boys. He's the all-time record goal scorer in the Champions League. Ronaldo has 3 goals in 2 games since he re-signed. He scored twice on his second debut against Newcastle last Saturday. Prior to the game against Young Boys, Ronaldo says Manchester United can win the Champions League. Prior to the game, Solskjaer did say it's not impossible to leave Ronaldo out of the team. Solskjaer insists he doesn't have to play Ronaldo in every game. When Ronaldo returned, he gave a speech to his Man United teammates. Ronaldo is wearing the number 7 shirt at Man United. He's hinted that he's looking to stay at Man United beyond his current contract. Ronaldo signed a 2-year contract with Man United with an option of a 3rd year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner. We got Ronaldo in a deal worth 19.8 million, with add-ons included. He was our final signing of the summer transfer window. Couple of weeks ago, Ronaldo gave his first interview after re-signing and he said, "I'm very happy to be back home after 12 years. The other week, Ronaldo became the all-time international top scorer with 2 late goals against Ireland. Ronaldo is the greatest player of all time. He's won 32 major trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. Ronaldo did well in his first spell at Man United. He scored 118 goals in 292 games in all competitions, and he won 3 Premier League titles, the Champions League, the FA Cup, 2 League Cups and the FIFA Club World Cup. Ronaldo's first spell at Man United, he endured 6 years. When we first got Ronaldo, we paid 12 million for him from Sporting Lisbon. Sold him to Real Madrid in 2009 for 80 million. He endured like 10 years at Real Madrid. And Juventus got him in 2018 for 88 million. He endured 3 years with Juventus. I reckon Ronaldo will start against West Ham on Sunday. I can't understand why Solskjaer took Ronaldo off against Young Boys. Solskjaer made quite a lot of mistakes in that game against Young Boys. A lot of United fans are criticising him. Man United have enjoyed a good start to the Premier League season. We have won 3 games out of 4 in the league. So we've registered 10 points from a possible 12. We are sitting top of the Premier League at the moment. This season is absolutely massive for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. This season is Solskjaer's third full season as Man United manager. Solskjaer has to win a trophy this season to save his job. He's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017, and that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, which is 8 years ago now. Before the start of the season, Solskjaer talked up Man United's title hopes, and the other week he said he privately views Chelsea as Man United's biggest title rival ahead of Liverpool and Man City. Like I've said in regards to Solskjaer, he's not the long-term manager for Man United. Despite us having a good start to the season in the Premier League, and despite us having a good summer transfer window this year, Solskjaer's decision making is poor. Analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United is being tactically naive. Before the start of the season, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. We made a mistake giving him that contract because he won't see out that contract. I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. Solskjaer's been in charge of Man United now for almost 3 years. Reflecting now on he's been at the football club, he has gained some managerial experience and he's learnt quite a bit on the job. And he's tried a few different elements. Before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He enjoyed 2 spells at Molde, and before Molde he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was terrible. So he doesn't have a proven pedigree as a manager, but that doesn't mean he can't succeed as Manchester United manager. But there is a lot of United fans that are now demanding Ollie out, reflecting on that loss to Young Boys yesterday. I'm not Ollie out, you can't prejudge him after one game. Yes, his tactics were wrong. Solskjaer does deserve at least this season. But like I've said to you before, the reason Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved his job. Disregarding being a club legend, I don't think he'd have been here now, because we've endured bad periods under Solskjaer where he's been extremely close to getting sacked. Solskjaer has managed over 150 games as Man United manager in all competitions. Not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer when we're inconsistent and when we've been inconsistent before. Obviously, Ollie's accountable for certain things, but I think there's certain players that have got to take responsibility, because, there's still certain players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club, and I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time. Obviously, the Glazers, they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time, and so too has Ed Woodward. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason we give Solskjaer the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. And there was United fans that thought we made a mistake giving Solskjaer the job permanently. Maybe we should have waited until later on in that season or at the end of that particular season to decide or not whether to give him the job. There is things I've got to credit Solskjaer for. Solskjaer does have a lot of trustworthy in his young players. I like the way he develops the youth. He's more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. He has made good signings as Manchester United manager. Solskjaer has signed 14 players as Man United manager. And we've spent around 441 million under the Solskjaer era. Ollie's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. Progress has been made under Ollie because he has got us to like semi-finals. Got us to the Europa League final last season. That was his first major final as Man United manager, and he got us to the FA Cup quarter final last season. So there you go. Last season Solskjaer got us a second place finish. Last season Solskjaer did accept it wasn't a successful season. In Solskjaer's first full season he got us a third place finish. So like I said, this season Solskjaer's hoping to build on what he's done in his first full season, in his second full season. And Solskjaer has brought consistency back in certain aspects. Solskjaer is our best manager since Ferguson. Despite me criticising him a lot. He's our fourth permanent manager since Ferguson. Because since Ferguson we sacked David Moyes, we sacked him after 10 months. He's the worst manager we've ever had. We finished 7th under the David Moyes era, the lowest we've finished in the Premier League era. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years despite him winning the FA Cup. And we sacked Mourinho after 2.5 years despite him winning the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield in his first season. He also got us a second place finish in his first season. So Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United. But the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with the top players, and in general the board weren't backing the signings that Mourinho wanted to recommend in. We must have brought a good 43-44 players in since Ferguson retired. And I think our squad is now worth around 805 million. You know, Solskjaer is inheriting players who other managers brought in. Manchester United did enjoy a good summer transfer window this year. We made 4 signings. We brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Villa, brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. So in this year's summer transfer window, we spent around 141 million, and Solskjaer did receive the backing he deserved. Like I said, our owners, the Glazers, backed him. John Murtough backed him as well. John Murtough is our director of football, and we certainly made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. And Darren Fletcher also backed him, and we made the right decision recommending him back in. We didn't sign a midfielder in the summer transfer window. That was very disappointing. And we only managed to sell one player in the summer transfer window, and that was Daniel James. We sold him to Leeds for 25 million. The reason we sold Daniel James is because we re-signed Ronaldo. But we got the money back what we paid for Ronaldo, because we sold him for 25 million, like I said. In the summer transfer window of this year, we'll loan quite a few players out. We'll loan Brandon Williams out to Norwich. We loaned Ethan Laird out to Swansea. We loaned Andres Pereira out to Flamengo. We loaned Axel Tuanzebe out to Villa. We loaned Tahith Chong out to Birmingham. And we loaned Facundo Pellistri out to Alaves. Solskjaer has endured 5 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager. I'm expecting Man United to sell players next year. The players we've got to sell next year now, we've got to offload Anthony Martial. Because he isn't good enough to represent the club. Don't forget, on deadline day, Martial rejected the chance to join Lyon on loan. Before the start of the season, though, he said Solskjaer refuses to sell Martial because he remains part of his plans. Martial has been at Man United for 6 years. He's got 3 years left on his contract and he receives 200 grand a week. Martial has scored 78 goals for Man United in all competitions. Got Martial in a deal worth 58 million from Monaco back in 2015. Martial's had 2 good seasons at Man United. Last season he was out with a knee injury for a while. I'm hoping we can offload Jesse Lingard in January. There's a good chance we're going to offload him in January. Man United set Jesse Lingard cut price fee ahead of the January transfer window. We want 12 million. The other week, Jesse Lingard rejected a new Man United contract offer over playing time concerns, despite him being in the last year of his deal. Earlier on in the summer, Lingard snubbed a return to West Ham. Last season, Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Earlier on this season, Solskjaer did confirm that Lingard remains part of his plans despite that ongoing speculation. Lingard's been part of the club for a long time. Lingard obviously came on yesterday against Young Boys and cost us the game with that back pass in the 95th minute of stoppage time. And he was heavily criticised for that. I think next year we need to offload Donny van der Beek because Donny van der Beek is not getting enough game time at Man United. Yeah, he did start against Young Boys, but Solskjaer taking him off at half time. I don't understand why, because Van der Beek was our best player in the first half of the game against Young Boys. He really was. Prior to the game, Solskjaer did say Donny van der Beek's been working hard to get into the team. Prior to the Newcastle game, Solskjaer said he's prepared to play Donny van der Beek in a 2-man midfield. And Solskjaer hints at a new role for Donny van der Beek this term. Solskjaer rejected Donny van der Beek's exit because it said Everton were close to signing him on loan. The other week, Donny van der Beek told Ole Gunnar Solskjaer his best position. Van der Beek reckons he will be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8. This is Van der Beek's second full season at Man United. We got him in a deal worth 40 million for Ajax with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025 and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Next year we need to offload Matic. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that he gets his chances. Surprisingly, Matic is ahead of Van der Beek, but Matic shouldn't be ahead of Van der Beek. He has had his good games though, like I say. He's been subjected to transfer speculation before. Matic has been at Man United for like 4 years or so. We got him in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Fred, we need to offload him next year. Whether we do or not, I do not know, because I've got my strong reservations about Fred. We overpaid for Fred. Got him in a deal worth 50 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. We've got to offload Phil Jones next year. He'll probably leave at the end of this season, because it said when the summer transfer window was open that Phil Jones is set to stay at Man United this season after Solskjaer told him he remains part of his plans. Jones doesn't get in our 11 and he's always been inconsistent. Being a lone servant at Man United, he's endured 10 years at the club. This season is his 11th season. Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. Next year as well, we need to offload Diego Dalot. Diego Dalot is our second choice right back. And I'm expecting Juan Mata to leave next year. And I'm also expecting Edison Cavani to leave. Edison Cavani is absent at the moment. I recently give you the news on Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba's brother, Matthias Pogba, has been talking. He said that Paul Pogba is yet to make a decision on his future. And he said Paul Pogba's contract situation is up in the air. David Ornstein said recently that Pogba is leaning towards signing a new Man United contract after the impact of Ronaldo. Pogba rejected a new Man United contract before the start of the season. His current contract expires next summer, and it said earlier on this season Pogba's very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. Defensa Central said the other week that Pogba favours a switch to Real Madrid over the PSG deal. Real Madrid have been relentlessly linked with Pogba. The other couple of years ago, Pogba spoke about Real Madrid and his relationship with Zinedine Zidane, and Pogba came out and said he's seeking for a new challenger. A report by 2O Sports said the other week that Juventus want to re-sign Paul Pogba next summer. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United, and early on this season it said PSG are pushing to sign him next summer. Pogba was anonymous against Young Boys yesterday, but apart from that he has enjoyed a good start to the season. He's already got 7 assists. And obviously you know the news on Bruno Fernandes. Fabrizio Romano said talks have been ongoing since July between Manchester United and the agent of Bruno Fernandes over a new contract. Bruno Fernandes wants to stay at Man United, and it's likely that we'll offer him a new contract. Fernandes has got a contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon. By the way, tomorrow your West Ham Man United preview will be coming up.